What's up, Power Force fans? Episode 3. This is the review. We're going to talk about it. And look who done escaped and wants to come in here and see what's going on. It's my little mini me. El, you want to say hey to the people? Look, the camera's right there. Say hi. Say hi. You come in here to tell people that you like Tommy too? Okay, El. I'll see you later. You got your crew in here. Hey, little doggy. Hey, Tinker. Hey, we got a house full of fun folks today. Tinker Bell and everybody. Hey. So, how did you guys like this episode of Power? I know there's been a lot of confusion, a lot of temperament out there. A lot of people saying they don't like this episode of Power. This season of Power. And I'm just trying to figure out why. Is it because you guys are missing the ghost element that is associated with Tommy? Do you feel like the story is taking too long to heat up? For me, it's been just fine. This is what I expect from a grown, more established group of people's story. I didn't expect it to be like Tariq. And I still think that this show has a whole lot of different areas that they can go and that they can take the people. My wife will be in here to help me review this episode in just a second. And as we wait for everybody to get in here, let me remind you all that are here right now, please like the video, share my content. I know I've turned on a whole lot of you guys to this new Bel Air that is very good. And that's what we do. We want to continue to turn you people on to great experiences and then come right here and talk about them. And there's going to be a great experience tonight. Our friend, Just My Opinion Reviews, B. Avery, is going to be having his 50th show tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Starts at 7:30 CST. I will be there to make it a lot of fun. It'll be a lot of fun with him, and we're going to have a whole lot of stuff to talk about. Let's see what some of the people are saying before we dive on in this thing. I got Motown 20. Hopefully he's in Detroit. Force is pretty good. It's not that flagship spinoff I thought it would be. I would say before we make those kind of assertions, let's just see the whole thing in its entirety. Maybe by the end, you'll feel a little differently, but I can understand why you feel that way now because I still feel like they're setting the story up. We got some backstories this time. BB Gaines said, I love the episode. Rap MDTV, I like the episode. Things are picking up. I definitely agree with that. And let me read more comment. Then I'll introduce my wife who decided to come. Angela Yvonne. It was okay. The episode was a filler just to start the building up. I still like the show. It's more grown content than what Power was. Angela, 100% with you. Angel, 100% with you. I agree with that. Honey, what was your overall feel of this episode?
I agree. It was a filler episode, but I still enjoyed them kind of fleshing out a little bit more of the storyline, getting a little bit more background on the characters. Right. So,
yeah. And they done that. So we got the background to Diamond and the issues he had with the CBI versus the Flynn family. And just basically, ladies and gentlemen, let's just keep this thing 100. The Flynn and the Irish, they're just fucking racist. Period. That's all it is. That's all it is, because based on that conversation, D. Tyrese Diamond ain't have nothing to do with nothing.
Right.
And instead of retaliating and losing more of his men because he knew he was outgunned, he just decided, whoa, I'm going to just back off.
Right.
So let's get this thing started, my people. Let's go ahead and start with a clip in true Life Games form. Shout out to my homies that have been following me forever and still rocking with me on pretty much everything I do. And let me remind you guys, tomorrow, 7 p.m., I will have Peyton Ashbrook. She plays Jenny Sullivan. She's going to be on my show tomorrow, Monday at 7 p.m. You don't want to miss that. Come and ask her all the tough questions. Let's take a look at the clip for Force, episode 3.
You rolled up with Paulie and his wife. Remember that?
Beth catches a face full of fucking glass. 52 fucking stitches to put her beautiful face back together.
Hold up now, we get a little off topic here. It wasn't us, and it wasn't me.
Can I say trouble? You motherfucking black parasite.
Jesus. And tell your son how you put 9 of my men in the ground. Because you think we all look alike. And I never retaliated.
You never retaliated. Because I'd have buried another 19 more of you motherfuckers.
Because I wasn't going to lose any more of my men behind the lies of a worthless man.
Called them black parasites. He said a worthless man.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is racist. When somebody says a group of people all look alike, they might not even know that they're racist, but that is damn near a racist statement.
Right.
That'd be like me going out here saying all Asians look alike. I'm being racist. You know, all Asians do not look alike. All black people do not look alike. You see me, you see my wife. Do we look alike? One of us is way prettier than the other one. So fuck no, we don't look alike. Let's keep that thing 100 for what it is. So we'll start from the beginning, honey. Honey, we get little Liliana. I'm going to call her Lily for short. She's about to team up with Tommy. Tommy made her an offer she can't refuse. We learn her backstory that she got all these drugs because she was partnering. Someone was bringing her these drugs. And it just so happened that in the last meeting of those two, only one walked away and Liliana is the one talking. Tell me how you feel about that.
You know, I'm still not sure I trust Liliana's backstory of what she's telling him, that she's basically a free agent and she has all these drugs and all this other stuff.
Right.
So I think there's still maybe something to her hiding who she's affiliated with, because that's a lot of drug. That's a lot to be just sitting on. And like Tommy said, nobody's just going to walk away from that. They're going to come back. And for her to be just comfortable staying up in that place, in that wherever she's living with the drug stash, then she must not think somebody is coming after her.
She was sitting on all them bricks worth 30 grand.
She ain't grab them and run. Nope. She just stayed there. She was too comfortable in doing that. So
could it also be that she's not, I want to say maybe she's not as versed as a big boss in the game, because you heard Tommy tell her, you really think that the people who are above the guy that gave you the drugs ain't going to come back for revenge?
Right.
On all these drugs, she had like 8-10 bricks worth 30,000 a piece.
Right. And I think she's playing dumb in that regard to make him think that, you know, she's not working with anybody. Yeah. Don't
worry. We'll get back to Lily in a little bit, because she was a consummate person in this story. And she had some funny moments, and we're going to talk about her too. I do think that she is withholding something. You know, she's going to work with Tommy because she wants the convenience of the money that he's going to offer her. But I do think that she's not telling everything. And I think it's smart that she shouldn't tell everything. He only need to know what can keep her alive at the moment, because you never know who she might be really working for. And she already admitted in this episode that she has broken down the drugs of other people in Chicago, right? But she never said who. The only one she said that she hasn't done it for was CBI.
So she said she did a little bit for Flynn.
A little bit for Flynn.
No, she said she did it for CBI, and the brother was trying to sleep with her the whole time. Right,
Jannard was trying to sleep with her. But she said a little bit with CBI, right?
Yeah, CBI is Jannard, right?
Yeah, that's Jannard.
But not with Flynn.
Not Flynn, yeah.
Yeah.
So she's hiding something, and we're going to have to get back to that in a minute. Now, we get this scene where Vic is coming up to get his men out of jail. And I said to myself, when I heard this lady's voice, I said they should have called Moochie. Like, they should have just called Moochie and had Moochie, because this lady sounds like she live in New York, not Chicago. And Vic gets his men out, gives her a little extra money to get this thing expedited. They get outside. He's talking to his men and wanting to know what the hell is going on. Bro, the men's like, it's heat on us. And then we see this old crooked ass cop. Lord, it's got to be one or two of them every show we watch. Honey, when we first seen him, did you think he was crooked, or you thought he was a good guy?
No, he was not. Yeah, the way he strolled into that barbershop and just sat down like he owned it and picked up a magazine and started reading. Yeah, so we knew he was crooked. We just didn't know what his angle was, and now we see that he's working for
the Flynn
family, right?
And he lets Vic know that the reason why the heat came down on the men, it's not because of him, it's above his pay grade. He said it's something dealing with an alderman. And for those of you who don't know, an alderman is nothing more than a city councilman. Some cities call it city council, some places call it alderman. We happen to live in a town where they're called aldermen. So I didn't look up whether Chicago has city council or alderman, because I know I've got tons of fans in Chicago. Let me know, do you guys have an alderman or a city council? Then we get to the scene where Liliana comes out the room basically naked to cut up the drugs, and she let Tommy know, I don't screw with white boys. I just don't like to have my clothes on when I'm cutting up these drugs.
Mm-hmm.
They have a little exchange about what happened to Ghost. She's sorry. I think she kind of had a soft spot for Ghost, and she realizes Tommy is hurt by it. And they come to a deal where Tommy at first is like, look, it's going to be a 70-30. Liliana's like, no, the hell it ain't. Bro,
Right.
you need me as much as I need you. You need
Right.
these drugs. You need me to cut them up. You don't have a whole lot of experience in cutting up because you've been in upper management. It's going to be 50-50. And you know what? Tommy gets in her face and he agrees.
And way to advocate for yourself, Liliana.
Mhm.
Yeah.
If we can only get you women to do that more, we can help get women's pay gap shrunk.
Right.
They said one of the number one reasons why the pay gap between men and women is so large is because women don't advocate for their pay. When ultimately, if women would start advocating for their pay, you'll be getting paid more than men because y'all do a whole lot more than our punk asses do in every situation, just about, except for football. And you know what? We might can start us a female football league, for all I know, and it might get more views than the men. And I'm not talking about some league where you're half naked. I'm talking about a real women's football league where you wear your clothes and people come and hit you right underneath the chin. And they would get paid to do that. I can see that happening. They wear pink sneakers.
Oh, good.
Like the person that slashed up Lily's face, pink sneakers. And then we get a scene where Tommy is in here with his brother JP, and JP has a sense of pride. The first time Tommy offered him money, he said no at first then too. And he's trying to give Tommy the money back. And Tommy realized, like, look, bro, I'm your brother. I'm here to help. I want to help you. JP tells the man he owes like $189,000 and 220 cents.
Right.
Tommy said he's going to help him out. But what was real touching in this scene was they've got a little wall where they was measuring the height of Tommy as he grow.
Right.
There wasn't one for JP, which let them know that Tommy and JP never crossed paths in this house. Talk about this. Is this Tommy fulfilling the missing ghost in his life with his brother?
I still think, because Tommy he's big on family. He wants family, and this may be the person, that might be the filler.
Okay.
Now, I think it does say a lot about JP's personality and that he's trying to get the money back. So it makes it seem like he's not trying to use Tommy or shake him down for a bunch of money.
But wait a minute. Let's talk about why he wanted to give it back. He wanted to give it back because he assumes it's dirty money.
Exactly. And that's another thing.
That says a lot about his character.
Right. You don't want to get caught up in no
drugs,
mess.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. And so basically his business, and also it makes me think his business must be legit.
Yeah.
And he don't want any dirty money involved with his business.
His bar is legit. The bar him and his dad got is legit.
Right.
And Tommy's basically told him, look, when me and my partner split up, I sold businesses. This is legit money.
Yeah. Now, when they were talking about the measurements on the wall, I thought JP mentioned that it looks like we weren't here at the same time.
Right. That's what he said.
So JP was there getting measured.
Right.
Just
he wasn't there at the same time Tommy was there. So they never crossed paths in the same house.
Right.
And did you see the look on Tommy's face when JP said, you can go ask your mama? Tommy's like, look, man, Tommy, stop it. We want you to bring your mama in this thing.
We want to see her.
Yeah, we like your mama and her crazy self. Now you got that coke hookup and all that. And you miss doing coke with your redhead mama. You miss it, Tommy. So quit playing, Tommy, and get back to getting your mama back on this. She's going to show up.
I hope. Kate
Egan is going to show up.
Right.
And then we get back to a scene where Tommy is in here with Lily, and Lily's like, man, you got any coffee? I need something. Tommy's like, well, I don't got no coffee, but we can test this product. So they cut up a little bit and they test the product and got to be more careful. Tommy realized she know what the hell she's doing. They in there, they smoked it up and got lit. But I will give Tommy credit for this. He wanted to test the purity of his product. He done that. And he also made sure that they didn't snort up too much of it.
Right.
Because I was worried that was what was going to happen. These two were going to be in there coked up. Talk to me what you felt about this scene between Tommy and Lily.
I always get nervous when Tommy either tests the drugs or does drugs. So didn't he have an issue at one point in some of the past shows where he was just
overdoing it?
Yeah, overdoing it. So I get nervous when he do it. But it seems like he's able to restrain himself, and we'll see how it goes.
It's always funny when Tommy get coked up, man, and I think it's just highlighting kind of the the relationship and partnership that's going to be going on between Lily and Tommy. I think you really deep down, he trusts her. I think she's starting to trust him, but she hasn't fully began the process of trusting him.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're sharing these little moments like this together, that builds bonds with people.
Because neither of them have anybody. And so this is where I'm kind of torn. So on one angle, how I mentioned earlier, it seems like she may not be revealing the whole truth about who she's working with. She's probably not just a free agent.
I don't think she is.
But then on this token, it looks like she's looking for somebody to team up with long term. Whoever she has in the back, like it makes me think that she's probably not actually out to get Tommy. But I'm still side-eyeing her. I'm still suspicious.
Well, you have to, because whoever she got her drugs from, he's dead and she's not.
Right.
And
but the people behind him aren't, like Tommy pointed out.
Right. They're not dead.
And the fact that you know they're not dead and you squatting in his spot.
Yes, with the drugs all in the same place.
Means something is
right. Yeah. You're not,
either you dumb, or you're not as street savvy as you claim to be.
Right.
Or you're comfortable because you know they're not coming after you for some reason.
And for her, she thought they wasn't coming after them. And this just goes to show you there's levels to this. Tommy was management, like she said, and she was the one down there cutting the drugs. Right. There's levels to it. Yeah. And now that you combine these two, and then whoever's going to wind up teaming up with Tommy from the Flynn family, from Diamond's crew, and then you got Claudia making a proposition to Tommy. This dude going to run the whole city soon, and the Irish mob is going to be on Tommy's hind parts. And then we get brother family beef. We got D. Tyrese and Jannard. Jannard is so stuck on this new school. It's like Jannard is the new mumble rappers of this era. And D. Tyrese, he's more of your Lost Boys or your Heavy D. He's still old school, want to do business with a code and all that. And Jay throw a ball at his head. And D has stayed pretty calm with his brother. What did you think was going to happen in this scene right here? They out here just, talking about putting a new baseball park for the kids in the hood. And
I mean, it's building the tension. We sense that they had tension during the first episode, like when Diamond got out. So we knew it's going to come to a head eventually. And this is just showing a building of that conflict between the two of them that ultimately is going to have to be resolved one way or another.
Right.
Yeah.
And as much as you hate to see these brothers fight, it's gonna happen because Diamond has been going 20 years. He put the seat there. He put his brother in the seat, and his brother's like, "Okay, you back now, but you ain't the boss no more." Under normal circumstances, when the head man go to jail, when he gets out, it's his thing all over again. And now the young lion's like, "Bro, I've been holding it down while you was gone." But see, this is the thing. D. Tyrese, he see blind spots on Jay. Because remember the first episode when Tommy had to save Jay?
Right.
If you're supposed to be the boss dude, you can't be needing saving from a dude who's just getting in town.
Right.
Remember the second episode when Rojas' crew snatched him up. A boss dude ain't gonna get snatched up by Rojas' crew.
That's what I'm saying. He's sitting up there talking about how in charge he is with his eye all swollen.
Yeah. Bruh.
The whole time, every time he looked at Diamond and basically said, you need to recognize that, even though I'm little brother, I'm the one who's running stuff now, and I need to be involved in decisions. All I can see is that eye, just that bubble eye, just sitting there with them scratches on his face.
My honey is just laughing at that shiner he got from Rojas and crew. And if you getting apprehended by DJ Khaled of Rojas' crew, you probably don't need to be the boss. I'm gonna just keep that thing 100. Y'all like 100, I'm gonna keep it 100. You don't probably need to be the boss. Then we get Claude talking to her dad because they've got to figure out this issue they're having with the alderman. You can't keep having the alderman taking your men off the street.
Right.
And, dad is like, look, Claude, I want you to go talk to this alderman because dad knows that the alderman has a thing for Claudia. The alderman went to the same school Claudia went to that we learned in that conversation they had. And daddy tells Claude, not only do I want you to go get dressed up and look sexy, but I want you to put that sugar on that thing.
And I'm like, okay, what do he mean put some sugar on it? Like, is he saying have sex with her? Is he saying get a guy some cocaine? Like, what does that mean?
We'll talk.
Be extra sweet when you go talk to him.
We'll talk about it when we get there, because I'm wondering, did Claude go against what Daddy wanted based on what she did when she got there?
Yeah, because she definitely ain't sprinkled no sugar on
She ain't sprinkled no sugar on.
Right.
She ain't make nothing taste sweet.
Right.
If anything, she made it more bitter.
Yeah.
You couldn't swallow that bitter pill she gave.
Right.
So we'll see what happens.
Now, what stood out about that scene was, one, Claudia still doesn't know about her father's cancer, I believe,
Right.
whatever
He's
he has
coughing
going on. Yeah, so she's still in the dark about that. The brother's looking like he wanted to say something, but he can't say anything. So, Daddy is still sick.
Yep.
He
told Claudia it's bronchitis.
Right.
Bro,
Right.
I'm a respiratory therapist. I still have a degree in respiratory therapy, even though I don't do nothing with it. I know bronchitis coughs. That wasn't no bronchitis he coughed.
Well, bottom line is she's still clueless about that. And then the other thing, of course, is him telling his daughter to go use her body out there to entice some man to help the business. I just thought, okay.
you know, in this generation, the women watching this show is like, we still telling daughters to do that. If you got a hot daughter, people are still telling their daughter. What the hell you think Trump been doing with his daughter all these years? You know, these gang bosses and bosses don't give a damn about that. One of the reasons they want a pretty child is to allure and appease whoever they need to appease to get the deal done.
Right.
Now, you know, Claudia ain't feeling it because Claudia don't like penis in the first place. She don't care about that. But we'll talk more about that when we get to that scene. And I wonder, is Claudia going to be hurt when she find out that the brother been knowing there's an issue with the dad in terms of his health? Because the mom died from cancer. So you know that's pressing Claude. Will she be hurt that the brother kept this from her when it's all said and done? So then we get a scene where Vic actually paid for the tomb of Glow's mom, and you know she thought that look, it's gonna be all good, and she basically tells him, "You can't buy my love, honey." I was just telling people on the last Power, they was trying to get in my throat. When Mecca was trying to give Zeke all these fashion dollar cars, and I was like, you can't buy love. And they was like, bro, it's his son. What do you mean? I mean, you can't buy love in words. No matter whether it's your daughter, your poppy, people do things to manipulate folks the way they want to do it by buying property, different things to give it to them so they can get them on their side. She is clearly telling this boy, that's not what I need from you.
Right. I want you to stand up for me.
Exactly. That's what you can use to get her love.
Yeah.
Not buying possessions, people.
Right.
That's what I mean when I say that. There must be a lot of young people following me now, because some of these dumbass comments be the stuff of young folks. My old heads don't never be saying crazy because they know. You know, they sound like Aunt Vi on the New Bel Air, and the comments I read sound like Hillary from the New Bel Air. But she glows like, look, that's not what I need from you. Right. Obviously, she still cares for him.
Yeah.
And he cares for her deeply.
So it seems like he still has a chance.
He does.
He does whatever it is that she wants him to do. And looking at his family, that's not going to be an easy feat. His daddy is, like you said, old school, hardcore racist. You're not interacting with them. And he's trying to date.
See, the problem is the daddy. It's all the dad, which makes me think that if the cancer don't kill the daddy, one of these kids is gonna kill the daddy. We're gonna have ghosts in the white family all over again. Is what we're about to have. But did you also notice how in this conversation, in this exchange they're having, he let her know that I seen you kissing Tommy. He didn't say Tommy's name, but I've seen you.
I saw you with him.
Yeah, I saw you with him. And she just shrugged it off. And
I mean, I still think he's practicing a lot of restraint, or
I do
shows
too.
He's a little more mature than I thought he was. So I'm warming up to Vic a little bit.
Yeah, he seems like he's trying to learn.
Because
he seems like he seems like he's the wet dude. He's wet behind the ears, but he's not psycho and crazy. You know, like it looks like he's looking at Tommy as though, you know what, maybe I can learn from you. While we got a common good we're chasing together. Because he could have went off on Tommy. He didn't.
Right.
He could have went off on Glow.
Right.
And she still ain't got them locks on that door chain, which was evident by the way she showed up at Tommy's house to get them drawers beat up. Remember that at the end when they was making love in front of the L train, giving an exhibition to the L train. I know a lot of folks on that train probably had their phones. Don't be surprised you see footage of Tommy and Glow hit the internet somewhere soon. Then we get Lily and Tommy. They come and meet the Flynn family, and this was funny. Because Daddy Flynn wanted to know, bruh, are you crazy, stupid, or both? You supposed to been leave town when I left.
Right.
And Lily is over here talking to the muscle for the daddy. And dude start trying to hit on Lily after he asked, 21 questions. And then she's like, I might go on a date if you shave that Hitler mustache. What'd you think? Tell me what was the significance for you in this in the story.
It's just showing you more of who Lily is a little bit. She don't take no stuff. And she's not, she's in. Yeah, she can hold it down, basically.
Oh yeah, she's definitely Dora Milaje for white people for sure. But what I'm trying to figure out is, bruh, you just got finished talking about the scar on her face, and then you got the nerve to ask her on a date.
He like it. He like it.
He like a rough house.
I think
woman,
it's her. He like her personality.
See, fellas, I told you. I've always told people, it don't matter how ugly you are. It don't matter what. It doesn't matter what the negative connotations you might have based on the way you was born. You can always work on your personality and your talk game.
Right.
You can always have a slick tongue. Because, hey, I'm not beautiful. And look what I got.
Oh, goodness.
And do you think I got her because of my good looks? No. I have a golden and platinum tongue, don't I?
Oh, goodness.
Tell the truth.
Lamont, go.
Fellas, that's great advice. Don't worry about your looks. Don't worry about your money. Have a nice talk game. Be respectful in your talk game. Then, oh Lord, we get in here to one of Daddy Flynn's drug people. This boy has been with Daddy Flynn forever. And this girl is in here wigging out because whatever drugs she just got finished doing, it's got her spaced out. Dude wants to know why the hell you brought Tommy in here. He ain't feeling it.
Right.
Pulls the gun on Vic. Vic winds up getting the upper hand on him. Tommy gets his muscle to get the girl out. And Tommy teaches this man how to kill somebody properly.
Right.
Talk to me, honey, about this whole scene.
So both of them are working together, of course, Tommy and Vic. It was just an entertaining scene to see this guy basically half naked playing and being a DJ or whatever in his room. Now the thing that was funny was the muscle was just like, you ain't gotta kill me.
Right.
He's like, I got kids. If you want to kill him, I'll tell you how to get his body out of here. And I'm like, did he really just say that?
What kind of muscle is that?
I mean, but look who he's dealing with. The guy seems like he's a jerk, so who knows how he done treated that man.
That's true.
Who got how many folk he is. But I mean, now if you're out there doing dirt and pulling guns on people, you can't just claim, oh, hey, I got kids.
Thank you. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
He pulled a gun on Tommy first.
Right.
And then when it started,
you don't know who Tommy got.
I got kids. I got 50. Bro, I don't want to hear that.
That don't mean nothing right now.
And I'll give Tommy credit for having great restraint too. Tommy should have just bopped him in the head. Little bro, don't pull no gun on me. Don't play. But he didn't. He allowed dude to get her out of there and let her do her thing. And then he taught Vic how to get rid of a body, handle a body, gave him the pillow. And Vic did it.
Yeah.
But here's the problem. If he shot him on the floor, that bullet is going to be downstairs somewhere where the police start coming looking for them because they still got to fix that alderman problem. Because we don't know if the alderman problem has been fixed or not. We think it has.
Right.
But we don't know if it's been fixed or not. And this was funny. Tommy go to meet Dee because now Tommy has got the Flynn family able to meet with Diamond, and Dee and Jay get into an argument about who's the leadership of the organization. And they decide we're going to have a fight, a knockdown drag out to see who leads this organization. And it was funny to me because Diamond fighting old school. And Jay start doing karate kicks and shit. Jay start going Mr. Miyagi, wax on, wax off, and kicking.
He told him about something about them legs, and Tommy was like, "What you mean them legs? What you talking about?"
But what was even more funny was Tommy's sitting here taking a bet with his nephew, and don't know it's his nephew. So
no, wait, is that wasn't the? Didn't they say that one wasn't the nephew? Was the other young one?
I think they was talking about who. They was talking about the actor playing the role. I think this is the nephew.
Okay, correct us again.
Yeah,
but
leave
I
us
thought
comment.
They were saying this one wasn't the nephew that was in that shot. It was one of the two guys that was sitting outside the barbershop.
Okay.
Who also had dreads.
Okay,
so,
we'll see.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming this is the nephew because that adds to this scene.
No.
That makes this scene worse.
Yeah.
You betting on the crew you're trying to work with if this is your nephew.
So this scene, it was somewhat tense.
Okay, so they said this one ain't the nephew.
Yeah.
It's the other one that's the nephew. Okay.
So this scene was made funny by Tommy, and he just makes little like lighthearted, flippant, or whatever comments. And you're like, is he really talking about this? So I cracked up when he started pulling out his money, taking bets.
Hey, but that's what we do.
And then it further highlight. And look, I'm like, they ain't gonna put on no gloves.
No, they're not gonna put on no gloves.
They ain't gonna put on no gloves.
No.
But yeah, and so it also highlights the divide, the generational divide between old school, new school.
Right.
When Tommy started commenting on him kicking, like, what do you mean? He's like, didn't he say quick with those kickboxing moves and use your hands? MMA.
Yeah. He's like,
start using your hands.
Start with the MMA. They don't fight like that no more.
Right.
It's like my honey said. My wife be picking on these new modern rappers, and I told her this was like the new modern mumble mouth rapper versus the old school, the Heavy D's, the LL Cool J's, the Nas. That's what this was right here. But did Diamond really win? We'll have to talk about that later. We thought he won, but did he really win?
And the other thing is, was the brother trying to save face? Like, oh yeah, I really did lay down like that. So I don't know.
Yep, we'll see. But at some point in time, them two is going to have to split. There's no way around that.
And so they definitely set the stage in this situation where they said, half our crew gonna come with you, and the other half gonna go with Diamond.
The other half gonna go with, and that was when they had that discussion of Jay saying that he really didn't get knocked out. He laid down on purpose.
Right.
Do you think he laid down on purpose?
The way he was beating his chest and trying to puff himself up with that bubble eye, talking about I need to be in on the decisions, it doesn't make sense that he would lay down, because he was trying hard to prove to Diamond that, you know, I'm a big part of this organization. You ain't gonna make no decisions without me. And so for them to get in the ring and him to just, you know, play possum, I don't see it. I think he might have just been saying that to save face with his guy, because the guy was like, yeah, you laid down, whatever. And he was like, oh yeah, that's what I did.
It's hard for me to believe that he's thinking 3 steps ahead when they've shown his character not to do that.
Right.
He's telling his man that that's what he did. And maybe he's doing it to keep face with his man and the rest of the organization that still want to follow him. So that everybody can be complicit in following D until he see a point in time where he might stab D in the back and be like, look, because then he said, at the end of this thing, I plan on everybody's going to wind up following me. Which means you're gonna have to take your brother out, or something. So we'll see where they go with that, man. But that's gonna come to a head at some point in time. We just don't know when that's gonna happen. Oh, here we go, honey. Then we get Claude coming to this alderman meeting. Now, personally, I'm looking at her outfit thinking, that's the enticement outfit. That's the outfit that's supposed to get this man penis going north.
Well, she was sheer up top.
Yeah,
in
but
them high stiletto heels.
Yeah.
So you saying the skirt was too long or what?
The skirt was, I mean, I just didn't like the outfit at all.
But you know what? If you think about it, what she ended up doing in that meeting, it lets you know that she wasn't planning on coming in that way anyway. So she didn't have to entice him. You
went into my point. You went exactly into my point. I think that she arranged for the whole thing to be that way. So let's go ahead and break this thing down. So Mr. Alderman, he's sitting here talking like he a badass. You know, if it wasn't for those payments you giving me, your ass is be in jail now.
Right.
You know?
And basically you have to keep paying me.
And you might be subject to pay me more.
Right. You're gonna pay me when I tell you, you're gonna pay what I tell you. When I raise it, you're just gonna have to pay more. Right. So he calling all the shots. Basically.
Yeah. And then before they pivot to what she had to say, he also slid this on in there. You know, we both like licking pussy. So why don't we get together? And that's when she was like, let me tell you something. Your daughter go to the same school I went to. She's awfully nice looking in that
clean
outfit.
uniform,
Yeah.
right?
Look better than me in it. So I suppose you just shut the hell up and do what we tell you, and everything's gonna be peachy.
Right.
And then she throws him a payment. Daddy didn't want her to do that. Daddy said kill him with sugar, not vinegar.
Right.
That was vinegar, ladies and gentlemen. First, she didn't show up super sexy, and then she shows up, and then she threatens the alderman, but it worked.
Right.
We think.
He folded.
Right. I mean, dude folded like a lawn chair. He went from being hard to soft as a baby's ass in the same scene. She got him good, and he ain't gonna get to taste none of her what that he wanted to taste.
Just need to do a better job of keeping his daughter's school under wraps.
This is the thing.
He not? I mean, did he think that was like private information, or nobody was going to find out, or did he just assume they didn't have the guts to go after his family?
I think that people always just tend to forget when you get in bed with these type of organizations. There's no rules. There's no rules. They don't give a fuck about your dog. They don't care about your parents. They don't care about your kids. The only rules is you don't do nothing that messes up my money. That's the only rule. And if casualties going to happen, they're going to happen. And that just show you Claudia, she ain't scared. We ain't seen her catch a body yet. But that lets you know, I don't think she playing, because there was no flinching in her tone. There was no, I don't want to do this. Right. I opened up my front door and I can see Canada from Alaska. There wasn't none of that. She was serious. That daughter's gonna go bye-bye. And she got what she wanted. More and more says she need to be running the organization.
Right.
She's the one need to run that organization. Then this was interesting too. This was another conversation between Lily and Tommy. And Lily, for some reason, she wanted to get half of these drugs. Tommy's like, hell no, you're not getting half of these drugs. We in this together.
She wanted to take her half and go off and sell them, right?
Yes. Yes. Which further buffers our point that for some reason, people, we don't completely trust Lily. Talk about that scene, honey. Talk about that. So and we know she's cutting drugs for other people.
Right. Like, is she pressed for cash? So they know they have a plan to move it at this point, right? And so the fact that she wants to, I guess, is not moving fast enough, or something ain't going away. She wanted to go. She ready to take her half and go move it on her own.
Right.
It don't make sense. Like, why is the plane? Why are you so pressed?
Right. Something's afoot.
Yeah. And then Tommy also said that I can buy you out. Let me buy you out.
And she said no.
Yeah. And so if all you want to do is just move this money, get your money, and go, then why wouldn't you want him to buy you out?
She wouldn't want to be bought out because she still has connections to the people she wants to be connected to.
So that's one. And the other thing you had mentioned that is maybe she is looking at Tommy as her next partner in crime. So she wants to partner with Tommy to move forward.
Right.
So she's not just going to split and just go her separate ways. She's hanging around. Yeah,
that's two. She maybe she's thinking about the ongoing relationship she needs to make this business work.
Right. Or is she trying to keep tabs on Tommy? I'm still trying to feel Liliana out. I don't know if she is completely clean. So, we'll have to.
We can fix this. I can get her to come do an interview on my show and I can ask her these tough questions.
Oh, goodness. She wouldn't be able to answer anyway.
I have a way of getting people to talk. I use sugar, honey. I don't use vinegar. Ain't that right? I use sugar. Yeah. Okay. Then we get to this racist ass Irish meeting. This was the most racist thing in the world. This dude gonna say, you all look alike. That is as racist as it comes. And Tyrese tells him, look, bro, I wasn't responsible for this white woman getting her face messed up, but I didn't retaliate because I didn't want to lose no more of my men. Talk to me about this, honey. White privilege at its worst. At its worst. This man didn't retaliate because he probably felt like he was outgunned. He didn't want a war. He didn't want to lose all his men dealing with an Irish mob, big mob. And this guy just assumed that all black people look alike. So if I see a tall black dude with a bald head, that's Diamond. Come on, man. I don't even want to talk about it no more. You take the wheel.
Oh, goodness.
Here, you take the wheel.
So Diamond walks in there thinking they are going to be able to partner together. Of course, he was skeptical in the beginning. And Tommy, I mean, the funny part about this whole thing was Tommy trying to
be the mediator.
Trying to mediate everything and keep people on task, and he ain't able to do it. So the daddy definitely revealed who he was, who Diamond and thought he was in the first place. And the deal didn't go down. So he's ready to kind of, what would we say, spite. What's the saying? You willing to like burn your own house down, trying to get after somebody else. But basically, he's really to spite himself in order to try to get at Diamond.
You are willing to burn down your whole neighborhood, including your house, just to get revenge on your next door neighbor.
Right.
What the fuck? Come on, man.
Yeah. So his business is failing.
Yeah.
And they're about to go under. And he'd rather go under than to partner with the likes of Diamond. And so at the table, again, this kind of brings out Vic is kind of stuck in this situation with his racist behind daddy. And knowing he's the one who's going to have to take over and eventually try to save the organization.
Right.
And with these parameters of we can't interact with them at all. So why did you even come to the meeting?
I guess he came to the meeting.
If you knew that the other Italians or whoever, Irish, whoever he's working with, you knew all of them would never allow you to interact with Diamond
or a black person, period.
Yeah, why are you there?
Because he wanted to rub the knife in Diamond's back. He wanted to shove it in his back. And let's not forget it. There's a reason why his muscle got a Hitler mustache, because his ass racist too. And Tommy's looking at this thing like, bruh.
But he's Polish, I think. Right?
They just as bad. So he racist. And Tommy's looking at this like, bruh, I've worked with black people. They're great businessmen.
Yeah. And Vic. Vic works with black
and Vic trying to sleep with one. So, Daddy, you need to revamp your thing. You're losing money, Daddy, for being stupid.
So I think either the daddy is going to be forced to, I don't know, is he someone that would have to be forced to come back to the table eventually? Or is this kind of setting things up so when the daddy's out the way, they ain't going to have no choice but to come back to the table?
The daddy's going to be out the way, but old Hitler sidekick ain't.
And then everybody who the daddy is working with.
They might be Hitler, the sidekick of the daddy, might go tell everybody in Ireland that, look, the son is a turncoat. He likes black folks, and we need to handle this business and put someone in his place. So you could always, they're not going to put Claude in there because they can't have a woman in his place.
Right.
So you could always take this story where Tommy takes over everything. Vic, CBI, and all them are working for Tommy. And then you're going to have the Irish mob being the main villains and people in Chicago. Tommy's going to have to go again.
Right.
Because Tommy's got to be in position where he can have the pills that the Flynn family's producing. He can have that new drug Claudia girlfriend making. Then he's going to have the coke. It's going to be tough to deal with Tommy if he can pull all that together.
Right. And
the daddy's not going to have no choice but to yield and kneel before house Tommy. That's what he's going to have to do. Damn dad. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, we've got 250 watching us right now on a Sunday in the middle of the day. Can we get 250 likes? Be sure to come back tonight at 6:30 p.m. Central Time to catch me with B. Avery on his 50th show. Guaranteed to be a lot of fun. The man has done 50 live streams. I'm happy for him. I'm proud for him. And you guys know I really go all out to try to help all these YouTubers I'm doing things with because I love to see them make it. So you guys come support them. So after that, honey, Tommy walks up out of this meeting like frustrated, like, damn, man, it's stupid. Right. Then we see somebody tailing him taking pictures. Why they got to have the black folks in here eating fried chicken in their car? This is obviously some form of police because you see that little thing on the corner, that little thumb thing. They some kind of police. They the feds or something. Right. But the question is, who are they telling? Right. Are they telling Tommy? They telling the Flynn, or are they telling CBI?
Well, when they looked at Tommy, they said that Tommy might be one of Flynn's new guys.
Right.
It could be one of Flynn's new guys.
Right. So that would lead you to believe they telling the Flynn family. But what is it about the Flynn family they trying to catch? What's going on? Somebody done snitched on them.
Could it be related to the alderman?
Could be the alderman. Yeah, man. Post your comments. Do you think these people are working with the alderman trying to get some evidence up against the Flynn family? Now Tommy's about to be caught up in whatever shenanigans they got going on.
Now, what we're assuming is Tommy saw them. I'm not sure where his car was located, but he definitely looked in the rearview mirror.
Looked in the mirror
and said,
but they was across the street, wasn't it? Yeah,
I would have to go back and look at the scene, but Tommy saw something in the way that Claudia pulled out.
Right.
She wasn't in his rearview mirror.
No, she was on the street, unless she like doing U-turns. Unless she just riding around the building and stuff. Cause her nosy ass, she probably was riding around the building.
So either Tommy, I think there's a chance that Tommy know he's being followed or whatever.
And then Claudia does pull Tommy over, and you could just feel the
she ain't pull him over, she cut him off.
She cut him off. And you could just feel that energy between these two. She wants some of Tommy, and Tommy wants her. And they get all in each other's interpersonal space. And she's talking about she got something that'll knock your socks off. And Tommy's like, sound like fun to me. How is this relationship with these two going to go down working together? Because these two have kind of similar personality.
Right.
Tommy sees that she should be the boss.
Right. And he said the right thing to her. So when he said, you're the one who should be in charge, I'm like, oh, look at him telling her what she want to hear. And so I think that softened her up a little bit. And they have this type of mutual respect for each other. So he basically saying, I see you struggling, and them kind of keeping you out of leadership when you should be one of the leaders.
Right. Definitely should be one of the leaders. And I wonder, how is Tommy going to handle his relationship with her and this new drug? Because we don't even know what the drug is. And then in the next scene, you see her with her girlfriend talking about this drug. And this girlfriend at first was thinking she was going to be working with the whole Flynn family. And then Claudia's like, no, boo, you my chemical maker. Right. You work for me. You my pharmacist.
Right.
Do you see them taking this girlfriend and maybe, flipping her against the family or somehow, some way?
No, I think she's in Claudia's pocket. Yeah.
Do you see what everybody else see happening? Tommy being in a threesome with Claudia and this pharmacist? I see it.
So whatever the drug is, they said the drug is very similar to cocaine. So it was something that they were trying to get past. Was
as a weight loss supplement? As a weight loss supplement.
Yeah, and it was so similar to cocaine that it ended up being, rejected by the FDA. And so now this lady is stuck with all of this drug.
Right.
And that they're gonna have to move.
That they pushing on the street.
Right.
And whatever it is, it makes you feel good. I feel good.
Cocaine. Basically.
James Brown up in this piece, and now she's gonna be stuck with that. And I can see this is gonna be a mess. Tommy's gonna have pills. He's gonna have some weight loss cocaine drug. Then he's gonna have real cocaine.
Right.
Woo, woo. You sell the pills to the white folks. You sell the cocaine to the black folks. East side, north side, cut.
They trying to sell it to everybody.
Right.
Which is what. So Tommy is trying to diversify
the organization
every year. So I want we selling pills and cocaine upstate or whatever up north, and we selling the same thing down in the south side. So yeah, Tommy trying to equal opportunity for everybody.
That's right. And then last but not least, Tommy getting it in with Glow, who called him, mind you, said, what you doing? Goes to his house because she ain't changed her damn locks yet, and getting it in all while people on the train getting a good view. That's how they end. Honey, talk about that. That's Tommy. Yeah,
that's Tommy. And now one thing I thought was like, goodness, is it a good idea for him to invite her to his house so now she know where he lives?
Well, they revealed that Tommy's living in a firehouse,
right?
So he done bought an old firehouse. So I would assume there's different levels to the house. Maybe he's got it set up.
But still, she know where he lives. She seems like she's team Tommy. Yeah, I hope it don't come back to bite him. I don't know.
Well, the only thing that can come back to bite him is Vic wound up coming to his house, kicking up a stink.
Right.
Because Tommy's not going to be in love with nobody this season, or at least that's what the writers are saying. So I would just think that Tommy's just having fun. The problem I worry is that Glow is going to be the one falling for Tommy, and he ain't going to fall for her. And then that's going to cause tension with the people he's doing business with, mainly Vic.
Yeah, and there have been many women who they were rejected, and they go running back to who they were with before and tell lies on the person that they were with. I don't see it going down like that, but it's happened. So
it's happened.
Again, I don't know why. I was just it just stood out that now she know where you live.
Hey. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for us. We got some other things I'm going to try to get worked on today. But again, go check out my boy B. Avery tonight at 6:30 CST. His 50th live stream he's done. Don't forget to like my video. I'm going to try to bring you guys some more trailer reviews and breakdowns for Bel Air tomorrow. And I'll bring one for Tommy tomorrow as well.
Somebody said real quick that they're more worried that Liliana knows where
Tommy live at.
Were they cutting drugs at her house or at his house?
His house.
Okay.
They went to his house.
Okay.
The very first scene, they was at her house.
Okay.
They collected up all the drugs and they went to his house.
Okay. Well, I guess it don't matter now.
Right. You know, so don't forget to like the video. Be sure to come back tomorrow. I will be on tomorrow at 7 p.m., with Peyton Ashbrook. And then I will be going on at 9 p.m. with Jay Moore and Drop Them Hammers Moochie. Don't forget to like the video, comment, subscribe. Till that next Sex is Hell video. We'll see you.